Today is Wednesday, November 21st, 2018. Welcome to the Survivor Fans Podcast. I'm Joanne.
And I'm Stacy.
And this is our recap of Survivor, David vs. Goliath, Episode 9.
This episode's titled Breadth First Search. That's spoken by Christian.
You were right.
Yeah, it just seemed extremely unlikely it would be anyone else but him to say something like that. And it makes sense when you see when it happens.
Yes, it does.
All right, previously on Survivor, Carl and Nick have a couple advantages between them. Alec and Alison decided to stick with the Goliaths. I think they mentioned that just because of its relevance for what's coming.
Yep.
Davie played an idol, which frightened Angelina, but really the Davids had a different target, and John went home. 11 are left. It's night 22. We're back from Tribal Council, and Davie's excited, plus he wants to share something with the tribe. Now, what do you think about what he chose to say? Well, he gathered them together when they got back to camp, and they're able to talk again because they're on lockdown basically once they leave Tribal Council until they get back to camp. They're not allowed to talk about any of the events. And he gathers everyone around and says, let's respect each other and play that way.
Okay, Davie.
Is that going to help him in any way?
I can't see how it would.
Given how they were celebrating and whooping and hollering there after taking John down? Yeah.
Can't see how it would.
Yeah, it seemed a little off. Slightly reminiscent of Jeremy. But Davie's doing the right thing, and he's celebrating in his confessional, too. Now, that's the place to really cut loose. And he's excited. He took down the mayor of Slamtown, and he says he's got his jacket.
Yeah, how did that? Maybe John was so confident he left it at camp, and Davie ran back and grabbed it. Said, I got it.
Or maybe John gave it to him on the way out, and they just didn't show that. I don't know.
Well, surely he would have given it to Angelina.
Yeah, doubtful. She's definitely achieved least favored status, I think, within the merged tribe.
Yeah, I don't know why he would. I thought that was awkward. Let's just all get along, and I don't know.
How about the discussion between Alison, Kara, and Alec? Alison's worried about them having some type of an advantage, something else up their sleeve. I like what you pointed out, too, and she's essentially saying is that 2 times now she's lied to Gabby.
Yep.
So she's concerned. They're all concerned that they've led them on twice now. So
well, they should be.
Yeah, there's a price to pay for that kind of deception.
Why would anyone trust you now?
Alison, wow, I got a really bad vibe off Alison this episode. And it started right here with this discussion. And, conservative, I've been playing conservative, and that didn't work. And where do my loyalties lie?
Well, and her telling Alec that we let Mike keep us from flipping.
Well, you got to lay the blame on someone. You can't assume it for yourself. You can't own it.
I thought she was more of a leader than that, but they're not showing her as a leader at this point. I think they were at some point, but right now that's not what we're being shown.
My theme for her as this builds is Laurel 2.0. She's not a pancake, but she's definitely a waffler.
Okay, har. And Dan, he thought he and Carol were just rock solid, but he got left out of the discussion they were having.
He noticed that, but what did he do to remedy that situation?
Pouted.
He sulked some more by himself, I guess for the tune of a couple of hours, if you're to believe his...
He sat at a distance and watched them and pouted and whined to Carol when she got back.
When she came to check on him after doing some actual work.
Nobody invited me over there. He didn't say that, but that's just
That's the spirit
feeling.
of what he was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's certainly the essence of it.
Well,
I liked her
that's-
reply.
Yeah.
Well, you sat here. How about you get up and look around for what's going on and be a part
And
of it?
why didn't you join us instead
Yeah.
of just sitting alone?
Yeah.
However, she would have had to change her conversation
Yeah.
had he joined them, because she's feeling a definite need to separate from Dan in the game if she wants to win. And I thought, I have a hard time seeing you get to the end anyway, but that's just me. I'm sure she
But it's
doesn't.
got to start with the plan like that, for
True.
sure. She's known
Absolutely.
it. The big question for her is, does she start too late?
Yes,
Right? That's what this is
exactly.
really going to boil down
what
to.
I thought. You should have made that move at the merge at the very least.
You've known what you were dealing with before anyone else did,
Yep.
because you've been in close in the inner circle with Dan.
And they act like they had completely hidden it. Totally. And it's like, seriously? People always pay attention to who you're sleeping next to. That's one of the things everybody has always said.
One of the
Pay
tenets.
attention who sleeps next to each other.
Yep, one of the fundamental tenets. It's not emphasized often on the show, but in the context of the game, it can be very important to tell you where loyalties lie.
That's what the players have all told us before.
Mhm.
So we go from there right into the reward challenge. What do you think about that reward challenge?
I like that idea of the reward. I tell you what, you tell me there's a a burger with
And
bacon on it.
Bacon.
I'm all in. Yep, I'm good to go for that one.
Stacy would mow everyone over for bacon.
Yeah.
That boy loves his bacon.
So definitely everything's better with bacon. Yep.
Yeah.
So you got an obstacle course, which Alec has a unique solution for, and then you got 2 teams of 5. Oh, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself there. I was thinking of the other one.
What?
So you got an over-under obstacle course for the reward challenge, and then they've got to get some tiles, and then they've got to solve one of those lock puzzles.
To get a key and then unlock the pieces for the puzzle and put
Yeah.
together the snake
So they
puzzle.
can go to the Bula Burger Bar.
And Carl has no chance.
Carl, who was celebrating at the
Who
thought.
was so wanting to have a beer.
At the thought of the beer that Jeff mentioned as part of the
beer.
reward, ends up sitting out. Yep, no beer for you.
You just sit over there in the hot sun and swelter.
Yep,
No beer for you.
it's Survivor.
You know, they used to say, okay, well, at least give them the option to choose the winning team. Now it's just like, you don't get picked, you're out.
Yeah,
So they just can sit on that. I would be mad at everyone who didn't pick me when they had the chance. You could have chosen me, and you didn't.
so the orange and the purple teams are even going through the obstacle. That didn't actually cause any big shift in who was doing what first. But orange did get out under the net first.
On the orange tribe, we had Dan, Kara, Alec, Davie, and Mike. Purple tribe, Angelina, Alison, Christian, Gabby, and Nick.
Thank you. All right, and Christian and Mike face off first, and where they're dealing with the lock puzzle, I guess. The
Yeah, and Mike
combination lock.
actually got that first.
He did, but he didn't have the foresight to hide it. Even though Jeff's telling him during it, he's concentrating so hard, I don't think he heard Probst at all, because they had to call him back to get him to cover it. But
Oh, yeah.
Allison had the presence of
Well, you'd
mind.
have to tune everything else out if you're going to concentrate and focus.
Allison had the presence of mind to keep watching since Mike had a slight lead.
I do
there.
like that about her. She does good in that kind of situation.
She had good awareness in the challenge for sure, and she helped Christian eliminate numbers first, and then to zero in on 2 out of the 3 numbers they needed for the combination before it got covered up.
I didn't think anybody would beat her and Christian putting a puzzle together,
Yeah,
but Alec and Kara did.
they did great with
did
that
very
snake,
well.
snake puzzle, that sort of 3-dimensional snake puzzle that they had to put together. Yeah, they did fantastic.
So the challenge is over, and they flip to Gabby in confessional, telling us, she's been wanting to work with Alison. Maybe this will be her chance to talk to Alison.
Maybe losing's not so bad in that sense, so that she'll get that opportunity. Yep.
That was a good
So
outlook.
She'll come over to the good side.
Did they have any more chicken to kill? Last time they got pizza, the ones that didn't get pizza ate a chicken.
Along with their rice. Yeah, they didn't show it this time, so they did show Carl saying that he was going to cook extra.
Well, and were you surprised that Angelina broke down over a veggie burger?
I don't know. I guess I'm not thinking about Angelina much. So she's crying about not winning the reward, and
You've already written her off?
Yeah, I thought, I don't care. You're a goat. You don't have any value in the context of the game right now. So, I mean, I was aware of it. I noted it, but it didn't make any impression on me. I was more interested in what Gabby and Alison were going to talk about.
If anybody should flip, it should probably be her.
A while ago.
At least after this week.
But yeah, that's the temptation of the numbers. Sometimes the sunk cost bias grabs a hold of you so hard it just won't let go.
Yeah, I'm not sure I would have. You know, I think it's usually safer to stay with the numbers, but
even when it's something as simple as a fantasy game where you're playing and you can't win, I couldn't let go of John.
Well, I let go of Dan.
Invested in him from the drop.
Thank you very much.
All right, so it's time for Gabby and Alison to have a discussion there while they're waiting for the rice to cook.
So Gabby wants to know what's going on with the Goliaths. And Alison says, well, you know, I should have made a big move and voted for Angelina. And I was really surprised at Gabby's response.
I like her.
That's not a big move.
Shut her down, didn't she?
But then she said, voting out Dan now, that's a big move. I thought, well done, Gabby.
Alison tells us, well, she's just torn.
I've considered that before.
Her and Gabby get each other. But yeah, Alison is, I don't know if you watch South Park at all, but if you watch the recent episodes, it's time for Alison to get cereal for sure here. And she's one of those people who's ready to think about committing to making a change. This is her story.
No, I didn't watch it. I don't like it.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so
over to the
when I
Bula Burger
started
Bar.
really, going, wow, she's way more wishy-washy than I thought.
She's just horrible. She's horrible. This is a horrible
Saw her as
gameplay.
a leader, but
she had been shining a rising star. Is really how she had been portrayed, not betrayed, portrayed up to this point. This episode is all about her not being able to commit and her consistently making bad decisions.
Mike is almost arrogantly Goliath strong. He didn't seem to even want to talk about it. It's like Goliath strong, period. That's our move.
That's right. Mike gets his veggie burger there at the Bula Burger Bar. I just like saying that, all that alliteration. It's one of my favorite things in language. And yeah, when Davie wanders off and leaves all the Goliaths there from that reward challenge, he's very firm about staying with the numbers. Kara, on the other hand, she's not quite so sure. She convinced Dan's a liability, and she's got to figure out what to do about that.
And here we go. Thank you, Dan. You told Kara, couldn't help yourself, and bam, what happens?
Time to share.
Yep.
It's a little sharing hour with Kara.
So, as far as I'm concerned, you did that to yourself, buddy.
Reap what you sow.
You said you were going to keep it to yourself. Couldn't do it. Bye-bye.
You control it if you don't share it. If not,
think
you
I'm
let
a
go of it.
little bitter about that, or what?
Yeah, so now Alison and Alec know that Dan has another idol.
Well, even Alec said, well, that was a bad move on Dan's part to tell her.
Alec's weighing his options based on this new information, and I liked his assessment. Well, Dan's a threat, but he's actually the least strategic person of anyone in our alliance. So, is he really the first target?
You know Dan loved that when he was watching it tonight.
I wonder if he was able to watch tonight.
I don't know. That would be tough.
Because
to
this
watch
is just
Kara betray him that way. And
everything back up again.
Yeah.
Yeah, so completely. I mean, it's been building, but, I mean, you'd hope you'd be a good sport about it, be able to manage it like John, but seems unlikely.
No, I think his feelings... I'm not sure why, and there was no reason for him to, jump so wholeheartedly in there with both feet, just immediately.
Other
That
than
was
he
kind of
was
silly.
he was thirsty. That's really what that was about. Yeah.
I guess I can forgive him for that, but oh, poor Dan.
Here comes the Waffle House, aka Alison. She's back and forth. Can't commit to the plan. So she gets this new information, and her and Alec are both struggling with it. But she seemed to struggle more than most there. Okay, day 24. The Davids have a plan.
Woo-hoo, they're getting up early.
It's time to get up at the crack of dawn, as Davie says. So
I think that was a little before the crack of dawn.
Yeah.
Myself,
it said day 24, and you're like, is it really day or is it night? What's going on?
It looks night to me.
Because it took a little time for the reveal to happen there. But yeah, the David tribe is up and about early looking for that idol or advantage that Davie is just sure has been placed out there.
Well, I'm almost positive Dan would have been looking too. Maybe not right then, but surely they all knew once those two idols were played that there'd be another one.
Yeah, they're all very savvy about the game, but I like that they got up in a concerted effort to look together.
Yes.
Yep.
So was I.
And one David in particular was hesitant to stop his search.
He really wanted it. And the other stopped at breakfast, but he kept going.
Not Christian. He's going to keep going, and that's where he enlightens us with his explanation.
Sections 1, 2, and 3, and not too much in any one.
Of the breadth first search that he employed.
And it pays off.
It does indeed.
He finds the idol.
Finds the blue yarn again.
Okay, so you could tell that he was surprised by the blue yarn out in the jungle. So does that mean Davie didn't tell anybody about the blue yarn? Well, Nick was there when Davie found one, wasn't he?
Well,
when they found the clue.
Nick saw
had the yarn.
Yeah.
So they knew about the blue yarn, and that had been...
Well, we never really saw Christian get that piece of information, so I don't
exactly.
know.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know the answer to your
They're
question.
all looking for the idol, but it
we don't have
appears that Davie and Nick didn't share to look for
the color detail.
The blue yarn.
Yeah. Well, and would you?
I wouldn't probably, but
you can have the discussion since you're working together and sharing,
I don't know,
but you don't have to share everything.
Maybe because they're down the numbers, and if they don't get the numbers back and they don't all work together as a team, they're done anyway. So I might have.
But it's a whole different thing having a hidden immunity idol to yourself, and Christian certainly acknowledges that because he knows he's going to be a continuing target.
But he told us he was going to tell them at the right time.
Yep.
Because he was going to need their help, so he was going to tell them.
At least he says that's his plan at this point. Okay, on to day 25. It's a 3-day cycle with this episode, 23, 24, 25.
Okay, before we start anything else.
With the community challenge.
Do you think they'll put another one out next week?
Yes.
Yeah, I was thinking they might too. Okay, immunity challenge. You got to move the 3 balls across and the teeter-totter thing and then get them in the slots.
Now, we skipped the one part, though, with the obstacle.
Yeah, I know.
Now it's okay to talk about the little foot drill obstacle, and Alec comes up with the complete solution
Just jump over.
Yeah,
I thought, I hope you don't injure your ankle.
And he didn't actually make it all the way over the first time. He landed in the very last section, but he had a good idea, I guess, of what he could do.
Yeah, I think that was more dangerous, though.
And as a comparison, Dan beat him through every time. So even though he was doing the loop, Dan was ahead of him going over the teeter-totter.
Yep. So, but Dan's got longer legs, too. So whatever he does, he should do it a little faster if it involves the long legs. Okay, so they pretty much neck and neck for quite a while.
Yep.
Until
Alec and Dan, that is. Yep, they get across first. Yep.
Yeah, the others were insignificant.
Dan actually got to the puzzle where they've got to balance the little I don't know, what is it? Is it a lacrosse ball or no? It's more like a pool ball, right?
It's a ball.
Yeah, that they've got to run across a snake-like track, so it's like a snake that's slithering.
And put them in the slots.
That they balance left and right and up and down. And there are 3 slots, and key points on the track, 1, 2, and 3. And the third one being the furthest away at the very head of the snake, I guess, if they started at the tail. And Dan actually gets his first, and then Alec is right behind him. Christian took a fall. Probst seemed to call it out like it was significant, but he kept going, so I don't know that he hurt himself in any significant way. Angelina catches up, and you end up with Angelina, Carl, Dan, and Alec all working on that first one.
And Dan just kept dropping and dropping and
Yep,
dropping.
Alec, meanwhile, Alec got his second and then his third, so he went on to win immunity, his first immunity. Third immunity win in a row for the Goliaths, Probst tells us.
Yeah, you just had to rub it in, Jeff. The Davids have won 0 individual immunities.
Dan tells us in his confessional after the immunity challenge that he's glad that Alec won, and Christian is a snake and it's time to cut the snake's head off. So Dan's all about sticking to the plan. Okay, back at camp, Kara tells us she cares about Dan, but she's got to move forward.
But she's going to slit his throat.
May have to split votes. Okay, so this is we're headed to the point here where Kara and Alison are talking to Gabby and Nick, and this is the part that we saw in Next Time on Survivor, where Kara doesn't tell them that Dan has an idol. At this point, he
didn't see.
Doesn't say that. So I don't know if he has it or not, but what do you feel? How do you feel about splitting votes between Angelina and Dan? Is Kara's pitch to Gabby and Nick?
Yeah, why would they believe anything they said? I mean, seriously. I don't see how they could trust them at this point.
And we'll come back to that because Nick had that great line about it, but it ends up being Alison that they show next as having a concern. She gets all concerned that the Davids are on board too fast.
But wait a minute, they agreed to that way too fast.
What
Let's
option
just back up
do they have, Alison? Where is that coming from? And she tells us that she's discovered that the right move now is to take a step back, a.k.a. do nothing, stick with the numbers.
With the Goliaths. Let's Goliath strong again.
Go with the flow is basically her plan, and not make any
She wants to make moves,
herself.
But she's too afraid when it really gets down to it.
Shades
Either
of
that
last season.
or her read was very accurate on the Davids that, oh, no, this something's off.
You keep trying to give her credit.
I'm
She
turning
does not
around and
deserve
run
credit.
back the other way.
No, she doesn't deserve any credit. She didn't
She
sniff
was
anything out.
suspicious, though she seems suspicious about most things. So
She found another reason not to commit, basically. So, not time to get cereal for her.
And Alex said, yeah, Mike's right. We'll just stay strong, 6-5, and we need to get out Christian.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just stick with that plan. Worked so good for you last time, y'all.
Kara's feeling a bit like a windsock. She tells us she's all spun around. She wanted to get Dan, but now she's got to go. The flow's gone against her, so she's going to have to pivot back to voting for Christian.
She is not calling the shots.
None of this is lost on Christian and Nick. They're watching all the Goliaths gather together and put their plan together to
how
stick with the
stupid
numbers.
was that?
You're just basically quoting Christian at this point.
It's just completely stupid. Why wouldn't they at least, I mean, why wouldn't they just, these talk to, okay, you guys talk to this, let's don't be seen all talking together at the same time. And,
segregated,
blah, blah, blah.
as Nick and Christian refer to it, yep.
But you never know. That
when-
kind of stuff happens all the time.
That's when we get the line from Nick that was in the Next Time on Survivor about all the Goliaths are lying to his face again.
Yep.
All right, now it's time for David's powwow.
Yeah, but this is where he told Christian and Gabby about the advantage. And then Christian told them that he had the idol. And Carl says, and I got a nullifier. Because Christian and Gabby still didn't know about the nullifier either.
Right.
So this is where they all went, whoa.
Yeah.
We are set.
Got an arsenal, I believe, as Christian described it. Now they have to figure out how to play it. So they got the hidden immunity idol, they've got the vote still, and the nullifier. Who will the Davids target? That was our big question as we were watching this.
They didn't tell us who they're going after.
Right.
We still don't know. That was good editing.
Yeah, I like all
we were
that
like,
work.
I don't know who they're targeting.
It was a great build-up for the Davids arsenal, and you get a little mini celebration if you're cheering for the underdogs there. but it's not clear what the best path forward is, because it could be as simple as taking the vote steal to give them the 6-5 numbers advantage, and they could have held the hidden immunity idol and the nullifier in reserve, right?
True.
So now we're excited, headed into tribal council to figure out how that's going to work there on night 25.
Were you surprised that Alison said she'd been in La La Land for 20 plus days until John was voted out? Because
I thought that was an unsavvy choice of words. I used a different word to describe it, which isn't nice. But yeah, that wasn't her best. She wasn't putting her best foot forward. It was more her foot in her mouth. And just wanted to add, John was all smiles coming in the jury, and Elizabeth was sporting some type of new island hat. Did not have her cowboy hat on. I wonder if she lost it or if she just expanded her wardrobe a little bit.
I don't know, but
yeah, okay,
that one is not as flattering as the cowboy hat.
Back to Alison, that didn't seem to be in her best interest, and Gabby didn't let it go by either. And Gabby answering Prope's questions, she's like, no, I don't have joy. I don't want it to be joy, but certainly a relief for the shoe to be on the other foot for a change, and the Goliaths to have to be on edge after they got smacked in the last tribal council. Still 6-5, Christian informs us. So he's given his piece of the dialogue there. But Dan's very clear. There's a war on. It's Goliaths versus Davids, and you work with who you know.
Christian's like, this game can shift quickly.
Mike tells us he's committed to the numbers. They're the most powerful thing here. And no one wants to be a traitor and make that first move.
And Alec tells us he wants to trust people, but the lines are blurred. It's like, Alec, what are you telling them?
I like that back and forth there with Gabby and Dan. They're talking about, being on the bottom and you've got an opportunity. Dan responded correctly. Is that, do I want to trade it for being on the bottom of the other alliance, the weaker alliance? So it's not like any of this is an obvious choice the way that often gets presented in tribal council.
Okay, here's one thing I wondered. You've got this little exchange between Carl and Dan right there, where, Carl's saying things can change day to day, and Dan's like, we got the numbers, blah, blah. They just kind of went back and forth just a couple of times, but I wondered if they showed it because of, the way it plays out.
Sure. I'd say there's a excellent likelihood that that's what drove their decisions for what they showed. Yeah, and
maybe that's why Carl was doing some things he did later. Okay.
When you got it set up the way the Davids do, it gives them a great opportunity to lay the stage out there. And Christian talks about, he poses the question, who's more sincere? There's a big test here. And yeah, like you said, Carl says actions. That's what really speak.
Well, and Nick tells us all about how, we worked with them with the Elizabeth vote off.
Mm-hmm. That was a nice
one. We did that. And then they were supposed to work with us with the Angelina, but when that didn't happen, a Goliath didn't leave. They say they want to work with us, but they don't.
They don't follow through.
And all we can do is work on the numbers. So you just watch the Goliath's faces, and at this point, I think they're just ignoring all this. Yeah, we gotta work on the numbers.
Keep
and
talking,
they're like,
blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, whatever. You don't have the numbers.
And you seem to really like Christian's analogy there of the old car that won't start, and you're turning the key.
Yeah, because he was calling them out and saying, well, we'll see this week with the vote. The vote speaks, and we're not paying any attention to what you say. This is your chance to show us. But I did like the analogy with, we'll see if the car cranks this time.
All right.
I did. I liked it. You didn't, but I did.
Well, I didn't see anything significant about it, but I wanted to highlight it because you enjoyed it so much.
I did.
Yeah, it didn't seem particularly relevant to me.
Okay, time to vote. Wait, Nick has something to say.
He wants to share. Yep. So it's time to announce that he is going to use the vote steal.
Were you surprised at whose vote he stole?
Yeah, I figured they would sort of all line it up on Dan, but that seemed like a good choice if you wanted to give Alison cover. That's a great way to give her cover. Let's say that you let Alison and Alec and Kara in on the whole thing, which we're curious about. We're looking forward to finding out. So that would be an awesome way to give her
I
some
would
cover.
say no.
If Gabby was there trying to look out for Alison a little bit and lay the groundwork for flipping her again.
Well, they gave her an out as far as she didn't have to prove anything. Because she can say, I was going to show you and vote, and you took that away from me.
Unless she was indeed in on it, and then she's got a stronger argument in that context.
Okay, but here's the thing. At this point, they show Alison and Alec nodding at each other.
Actually, she whispered to him.
Well, yeah, and then Kara turned and nodded too. So it made it appear that the three of them had gone, yeah. So like they had made a decision. We need to vote as we originally planned, or they're gonna, we don't know what else they have up their sleeve.
Yeah, and then Dan
But we
turns
now
to
don't have the
Kara
numbers.
and asks her, should I play my idol for Allison? You think
And
Kara
you
told her?
You said Kara said, play it for yourself. But
Yeah, because I gotta think she's in on it.
I don't think she's in on it.
And to choose the path they chose for how they executed this takedown of Dan, then that seems to me like it's just more insurance. And that way she gets to play a role there.
Well, I guess there's a slight possibility, but why would they take that chance when they didn't trust them? Why would they give them all that information about what they were going to do? I can imagine they would do that. But it works for Kara, for Dan to play the idol, whoever he plays it for, just play the dang thing. And so getting your idol out of the game is good for me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, play your idol for whoever you want.
Probst collects the votes, and then Dan says, yep, at the opportune moment, I'm going to go ahead and play this for myself.
They're trying to play a fast one on me, on us, so I'm going to protect myself.
Yep.
I am not going home.
I think Alison cried at that point. She was hoping that he might protect her. Either that or she's playing a really good role, like I was thinking. All right, and then boom, out pops the idol nullifier.
Well, the precious moment was Jeff saying, this is, in fact, a hidden immunity idol. And Dan's all smiles, Mike's all smiles, and then Jeff says, and this, which we didn't know Carl actually played, is an idol nullifier.
Right.
And turns it around and goes, played for Dan.
Against,
ding, 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 ding.
Dan, yeah. Your idol has no power. That's that chills your blood right there.
And Dan's smile turned upside down.
It did. He made a frown.
I'm sorry, Dan.
Carl gave a silent chuckle at this point. Now the votes are coming in. We get 3 for Christian, and then it turns 2 for Angelina.
Yep.
Wasn't sure we were going to see that.
That's what the nods were.
And then it turns again, and the votes for Dan start to come in.
2, 3, 4, 5.
And Alison is relieved, and Dan is out. And he does not have the good humor of John.
No, he did not.
The only thing he could do was keep his mouth shut, it appeared. Yeah, at least from what we got to see.
Yep, and Probst tells us, have the lines finally blurred?
Poses a question. Yeah, which turns out is relevant to the title of the next double episode, so that's interesting.
Okay, the 3 votes for Christian were from Mike, Dan, and Angelina. And the votes for Angelina were, in fact, Kara and Alec.
Yeah.
And
So we think that's a test. We think that was a loyalty test.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, they were playing to the others.
So they knew something. Someone told them to vote for Angelina.
Even though it's 5 Goliath and 5 Davids left in the game, they're now tied in numbers. But I got to tell you, the way the Davids have been playing, they're on
track not to need any Goliaths. Yeah.
Yep.
The one coming is certainly the big test.
Well, you'd certainly be afraid of what might be coming next.
Yeah. And they laid groundwork. So if that was a loyalty test for Kara and Alec, That's really good thinking ahead. That's, for the next move ahead.
Well, they actually showed 5 votes for Dan, but there were 6. They actually showed both of Nick's votes.
Right.
They didn't show Carl's because he put Officer Dan on his when he voted, and that was the one that wasn't shown. But there were, in fact, 6 votes for Dan.
Yep.
So there you go, Dan. He was not my vote out choice. I thought that he might win immunity and blah blah, or play the idol, silly me, and which he did play the idol, but that didn't work.
So for them to make that choice, for them to do it that way,
they had to know he had one. Kara had to have.
It seems
somebody told them.
It seems likely, right, that they colluded with Alec and Kara, or somehow that information got to them, and they had the extra vote, so they had what they needed to take down a Goliath. But you play the nullifier if you want to ensure that you take down a specific target.
And you want to put...
You want to guarantee.
Yes, you want to put... If you're going to put all your eggs in one basket, you need the nullifier to make certain...
So that person that's what they ended up deciding is when they put their plan together is we're going to take Dan and we're going to guarantee that it's Dan.
I thought that they would not burn the nullifier unless they knew for sure he was going to play it.
I didn't expect to see it either.
That's why I voted for Mike to go home. I thought they might turn on him.
In a similar fashion, I thought it would be Kara.
Yeah. Well, those were my 2 choices was... Kara or Mike. That Kara, because they might just say, well, we can't get Dan, let's get his right-hand woman this time.
Sure.
We got the right-hand guy, let's get his right-hand
Get the one on the
woman.
right, get the one on the left, and the next time we'll get the one in the middle.
And eventually we'll get to him, but...
Yeah.
But anyway, didn't work out the way, did not get a vote-off point, but at least this week I did not lose a safe point. So, yay!
Well, and most important, that was another phenomenal episode.
I know.
To see all that come together.
I don't care if I lose a point.
To see how they put the guarantee in place.
Do it.
Yeah, he's got to feel so cheated at that point in the game. He's like, what is a nullifier? Where did this come from?
Who ever heard of a nullifier?
How is that fair? I could just see that running through his head. How is that fair? Dadgum nullifier.
Who ever heard of a nullifier?
Yeah, dadgum nullifier. Yeah.
Well, you would. I mean, I don't blame him for being upset or bitter or any of that. And, but, that's Survivor.
It is. It isn't always nice or pretty.
Or fair or pleasant.
When you're on the receiving end.
Any of those things. But I'm sorry, Dan. I enjoyed your blindside.
So I would have enjoyed more seeing him go with 2 and him joining that club. But the way he wasted one
you're cruel.
And got this one knocked out.
He wasted them both, really. When you think about it. I mean, no, he didn't technically waste this one because he tried to protect himself. But the other one, I'll just say, neither one of the idols did him any good.
Yeah,
He blew the one on Angelina.
I don't think this was wasteful at all.
Yeah. No, not to protect yourself. Yeah. But it didn't work either.
Right, because he wasn't aware that there was something that could
That's what I mean.
Take it down.
It's not his fault, but it just turned out he had 2 idols, and neither one of them gave him any benefit in the game.
I enjoyed your defeat, Dan. I absolutely enjoyed it.
mean.
It was interesting to watch, and I look forward to the extra videos in hopes that they shed some more light.
We should have watched Ponderosa.
Shed more light onto what was going on behind the scenes to get Kara and to get Alec in place. And let's go ahead and bounce over to Next Time on Survivor, because I think it suggests that Alison may have been in on it too. Because we see...
I didn't see that at all.
Okay. We see her telling Angelina, yes, your name was a contingency.
I think she kind of said, well, I think your name was a contingency plan.
But there was no, well, I think in that sentence, the way it was shown in the Next Time on Survivor clip.
Okay,
it was a
statement,
your name was a contingency. And then Probst tells us, when you've been betrayed, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. So Angelina is looking for revenge. And then when Carl tells Gabby that she's being too emotional, she becomes extra emotional.
Well, we don't know if it's
in
about
her,
that or
in
not.
her discussion with Christian.
What is he, the Godfather?
Yeah, and then the waterworks.
Well, Christian's done a good job of managing Gabby.
Yeah, time for comfort and cry control. Yeah.
Yeah. What else? The Goliaths, Angelina tells us. Goliaths don't know how vicious I can be. What are you going to do, Angelina? Nobody likes you. But let's see what she can do.
Time to flip. She's a great goat.
I think so.
She's like the number one candidate for the goat rodeo at this point.
Well, and here's the thing. At some point, if Christian and Gabby are thinking ahead or planning ahead, they're going to need another person from Goliath, or Davie, Carl, and Nick seem to be fairly tight. Now, Nick, I think, could go either way, but I'd be a little bit nervous that those three guys might pick Gabby and him off if I were Christian.
Could be.
And if they could find a third.
Christian's the only one right now with an advantage in the game.
So I don't know why anybody would trust Angelina, other than she got nowhere else to go.
Yeah.
And, but I would think they would want to trust Alison more than her. But anyway.
All right, let's take a step back. What did you think about the overall episode?
Loved it.
Is it still trending up?
Yeah, for me.
This was just as exciting as the last one.
Yep, I agree.
Seeing how this came together. So, and it was like it was a perfect build onto it. I didn't feel like it was a step down or sideways at all.
I don't know if it was quite as exciting as the John vote, because I didn't see a vote for him coming at all. At least I knew they were targeting
You were more surprised.
I was more surprised.
The end result.
But it was
this
still
one
awesome.
I thought was equally exciting in that
and
regard.
Played so well.
Yeah.
You don't often in Survivor, there's a lot of possibility for this kind of play, but you don't always get to see it really pan out.
Mm-hmm.
And this just fell right into place beautifully. And I thought the Davids handled it pretty well in the things they said to make for interesting TV for the viewers, but not to completely tip the other tribe off to there was something
and I'm inclined
really in the works.
to think that Alec and Alison and Kara were in on it, like I said. So there was a meta discussion, a discussion above what was going on in tribal council with regards to the loyalty, the demonstration. There was a test in the works, and they were going to see how it played out. So
I don't think they were in on. I don't think they had any of the details about what they were going to do.
Certainly, we look forward to figuring out. Anything else you want to say about the episode?
Nope.
How about a JSFL update?
I can do that. We have 41 people who lost their USB this week.
Yep.
And Love Good 8 is in first place with 40 points.
Congrats. Good job.
And 73 people lost a safe point. Luckily not us this week. And 65 people gained a vote off point. Congratulations.
Yeah, good job.
For the
certainly not a bad bet to go with Dan as a candidate.
Oh, no. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
For the side challengers, tied in first with 38 points is Drew and Jay Kindred.
All right.
36 points. Drum roll, James and Shannon and Parker.
What an ascension for James and Shannon from
the
basement, not even playing in the first round of JSFL, and to be in second place now?
Yeah.
Man, they're on fire.
With 35 points, Cold, Mike, and Stacy, right smack in the middle. With 34 points, we have Jeremiah and Jonathan. And with 33 points, we have Brandon and Rodney.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I think Rodney got the vote off this week, too.
It's only, 3 points between the bottom and the top in the side challenge, so anything can happen at this point.
Oh, yeah. I mean, let's face it. It's all in the finale points.
Flip upside down, yeah.
So it doesn't matter where your score is right now. Do not be discouraged.
Well, I don't want to diminish the significance of the
Oh, no. It can make the difference win or not win.
That's been made. Yeah.
But, oftentimes it's not always the people at the top that pull it out. So,
all right, well, good job, season 37. week 9, man, this I'm excited for what's coming next. I'm excited for our double episode.
Yeah, next week, 2 hours.
Yeah, so factor that in with your JSFL picks. You're going to pick 2 vote outs. We're not absolutely sure that they'll have them, but typically you get 2 immunity challenges because it's really just two episodes that run back to back. Well, and they have
to if they're not going into the finale with 7.
Yeah, we expect.
So the website will be updated when it updates tonight.
Yep, it's already set up.
It's already set up for 2 people to be voted out.
So make sure to, if you get confused a little while, it's not taking your choices. It's because you need to pick 2 vote outs.
So which 2 is it going to be next week? We didn't even plan that. We're looking at Paul's lovely roster.
Do you stick with? Do you keep Angelina in as a goat, and because she's so hungry to get revenge? I don't think the Davids. I think the Davids are smarter. Even though Gabby and Carl aren't getting along, I don't think they're going to let that mess up their plan right now to take control. So
I would probably pop Mike.
He's a good candidate too because he stopped working with them. Right, he cut off ties with Gabby and Christian, as far as we know, and the Rockstar Alliance seems to be dead. So
do you think the Goliaths are going to stay strong and try to pull or go head to head, or there's probably going to be another idol put out there? People are going to really be looking for that.
Yeah, they are. No, I don't think they're going to stay strong. I think the Goliaths are going to be eagerly looking to jump ship.
But why? They're even numbers.
A guarantee. You want it, and with Alec and Kara throwing their votes towards Angelina like that, they're the prime candidates to flip over.
So what would Gabby and Christian say if Mike comes crawling back going, hey, let's go back to our 6?
Oh, I think they would encourage him. Absolutely.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, and then just get rid of him. Yeah, whack him.
That's how I would like to see Mike go next week.
Yeah.
I was really enjoying his play, but now
who's your second one?
He just took a back seat.
Mike's your first. Yeah, well, he made bad choices, and then he doubled down on his bad choices. So Mike, and then seems like Angelina's a logical choice, but you don't really need to because, like Mike said, she's been defanged.
Well, I would give Alec a pass.
Right.
Because he did help them last week.
Yeah.
And because he and Kara voted the way they voted, they may not trust Alison. So it could be Mike and Alison, or it could be they've worked more with Alison. Gabby's really going to be looking for someone that she's comfortable with, especially if Carl's picking on her.
She needs more options.
That will stay with her. Well, I'm looking at it from Gabby's perspective.
Okay.
And so, and we know how Carl is if he doesn't want someone around. We saw what he did with Elizabeth.
Right.
So, but they would be stupid to have an inter-tribe
to do what the Goliaths
fight.
did.
Yeah, don't disintegrate.
Yeah.
You don't have the numbers enough. You don't have the numbers yet.
Right.
So don't do that. But I don't know if I would do Kara, I think. Send Kara to Ponderosa with Dana.
She's a bigger social threat, and you got to think that they're aware of that.
Yeah.
That she's got more.
Or, truthfully, their smartest move would be to take out Mike and Alec.
Yeah.
Alex, now, he's the leader of the pack for winning immunity. Mm-hmm. So if they have the opportunity, if he doesn't have immunity, I would take Alec. Even though he's helped them, he's their biggest threat.
Kind of go old school.
I think he moved into that position of...
By winning this week.
But his meat shield is gone.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think he's up next as far as needing, a shield. So that's what I would do, I think. But I would target Alec. Because, again, they need to get the numbers, but they need to do what's best for their game. And if I didn't do Alec, I would do Mike and Alison maybe. Or if they don't consider Mike a threat, do Kara and Alison. Mm-hmm. If they can't get Mike or Alec.
Yeah.
For some reason, so...
I think Alison's had her chance.
Yeah, and Alison is good in challenges, and she's good with puzzles.
She won the first one.
Well, exactly, and she's good with the puzzles and stuff. So she's also a threat.
Yep.
So, so maybe they should save Mike and go for Alison and Alec and just eliminate the confusion.
Yeah.
Of whether they're with them or not. They know Mike's not, so there's no surprise there. Mike's not with us. We're clear on that.
And Mike has yet to do anything significant. His
and
plans all lead to nothing, so he's goat material along with Angelina.
Kara hasn't lied to us as much as Alec and Alison. So why not take...
Right.
Okay, I'm changing it. I'm going with Alison and Alec.
Okay.
But I think they might go Mike. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if Mike's playing so much right now.
Oh, he's definitely playing.
Something seemed to flip, though, where he
didn't get pizza.
He's not, doesn't seem to be conniving. I think maybe it's just because he accepted.
You think
we need to
worn
stay
out?
Goliath strong, and I'm tired. Let's just stay Goliath strong, ride it out. I'll rest up and play again when we get to the last Goliaths.
Uh-huh. So I'm thinking mine's a little different. I think they're going to go with Kara and Alec. I think those are the next two to go. All right, well, we're curious what you thought about this episode and your thoughts on the season. We've been having just amazing listener feedback shows on Saturday, and we're really looking forward to hearing your thoughts this week, too.
Was last week just, will there be free clips every week, or do you think?
No, last week wasn't free clips.
Oh, I thought, okay, never mind. I thought they were the extra clips you could access, not on All Access. CBS All Access.
Always check the show notes. There might be something there to help you find them. So again, we're looking forward to getting your thoughts. Our listener feedback show is on Saturday. Feedback is due by noon Pacific. Looking for you to keep it in the 3-minute range. Sometimes that seems to be, people worry and fret too much about that, but you can say a lot in the 3 minutes, and when we've got 20 plus super fans ready to talk about the episode, we've got to put some kind of limits on it. I think our show last week was a little over 90 minutes.
I can't sit that long anymore.
Yeah, so there's some...
I made the 90 minutes, but we used to do 3-hour, 4-hour shows a long time ago.
Yeah. So we're trying to achieve a balance in that respect. So please help us with that. And when you send 6 minutes, it takes me 12 or more to edit it because I got to listen to it multiple times and pick out, sort of pick and choose and help assemble a 3-minute clip from what you sent in. So just keep all that in mind. You're doubling my time for every minute you go over. All right. But I don't want you to worry too much about getting it out there, especially if you want to send audio in. I can take care of that. If you're not clear on what to say next, just pause, because I can take those out automatically. That's no big deal. And I clip out your filler words so it all flows better. Don't stress about any of that. Just share your thoughts. Come at it from your particular perspective in life, because that adds a unique flair to your feedback, and we all enjoy that the most. The voicemail line, 206-350-1547, toll-free 844-643-8737. You can record your own and send it in to Joanne and Stacy Show at Gmail, or you can write it up if you're sick, like Parker, who's already got his feedback in this week.
Yeah, not audio.
And we will read it in on your behalf. So you've got all those options. We're looking forward to hearing from you and your thoughts on this episode and what we can expect next from the big Double Slam episode that's coming at us next week. Anything else you want to add?
I want to remind everyone to take a moment to acknowledge what you're thankful for in your life. And if you celebrate Thanksgiving, then we wish you a very happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it's good to cultivate a sense of thankfulness year-round, but certainly at these special times, it helps bring it home, and hopefully you're having a good holiday if you're celebrating. Have a good one.